Hey there YouTube, this is the Accidental Spy coming at you with another action figure review, and this time I have the Iron Man 2 movie series 6-inch Iron Man Mark V. And I just gotta say that this is probably the best figure so far in the 6-inch movie series line. Mostly because of the sculpting that this figure has. It's just amazing. I guess that's mostly because of the actual, armor that it's portraying. The Mark V armor is very, modular. There's a lot of plates and stuff because it is the suitcase armor. So the sculpting had to match that look, and whoever sculpted this figure did an amazing job capturing the look of that modular design. It's just an amazing looking figure. I'm kind of speechless right now because it's just funny that Hasbro can release this kind of figure, especially thinking back and remembering the type of crappy figures they used to release in their earlier Marvel Legends attempts. And Hasbro has certainly come a long way when it comes to their 6-inch figure line, which is kind of makes me sad because they could have released all the figures as 6-inch figures and it would have been awesome, especially considering how I was not a big fan of the original Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie figures. They were all 6-inch figures, but the Iron Man figures, those figures, they were just too lanky, and the detail wasn't up to par. The paint was often kind of, spotty. And well, that hasn't really changed. Hasbro's painters or whatever, their paint manufacturing is still really spotty. But their 6-inch action figures, in terms of just sculpt and articulation, have definitely improved over the years. And I think this bodes well for the supposed return of the Marvel Legends line in 2011. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward. That's weird. I'm actually looking forward to Hasbro Marvel Legends. But enough of about that. Let's actually take a better look at this figure. Now, everybody knows the Mark V armor from the Iron Man 2 movie. Very iconic moment when Tony Stark dons the suitcase armor. And yeah, this figure lives up to that moment. It's a really awesome figure. It obviously is a nod to the Silver Centurion armor in terms of just this paint scheme. It's red and silver. And yeah, there's not much bad about this figure at all. The only things that are kind of, that I have a few gripes about is obviously some of the paint issues. There's a few faded red areas. It's not as, the paint isn't as applied evenly as it should be in some areas. Like the silver paint on the biceps, they're looking kind of more reddish, and there's a hint of red in there. So the silver paint on there wasn't applied evenly, and then on the red right here, like I said, it wasn't applied evenly. So there's a bit of a fading effect right there, which shouldn't happen. But for the most part, the paint apps are clean for the most part. There's a few smudges here and there, but it could have been far worse. I also got to say that this is probably the most painted 6-inch figure in the line. I know the Mark V was mostly molded in red with gold and silver paint apps, and War Machine, I think, had some silver paint apps, but this has either red over silver or silver over red, so there's a lot of paint going on here. So just due to the vast amount of paint on this figure, it's not bad, but I wish it could have been better. But it's, even with the bad paint apps, this figure still looks incredible. Like I said, it's probably the best one. out of all the 6-inch not Marvel Legends, 6-inch Iron Man 2 lines. Let me get the other two figures just to put as a point of comparison. There we go. Here's the War Machine and the Mark 6. And yeah, I'll put all three together, and it's just really, this is a really badass collection of figures, and I'm really impressed with this line. My favorite figure so far is the Mark 5. The War Machine is probably the next best, only because of the vast amount of cool detail on it. And then obviously the Mark 6, it's also an incredible looking figure as well. And it's probably the best Iron Man. This version of the suit, it's probably the best version of this suit that you can get, because, like I said, the earlier Iron Man, the first movie Iron Man line, the Mark III suits looked a little too lanky. Like it didn't look like a human can be in that suit. But yeah, this movie line, this 6-inch movie line is incredible. And like I said, this guy, at least in my area, San Diego, he's readily available in almost all the Walmarts that I've been to. So go out now, try to find him down, try to track him down, get him while you can, and you won't be disappointed. Probably the best 6-inch figures on the market. So that was the Accidental Spy, and that was my review of the Iron Man 2 movie series, Iron Man Mark 5 6-inch action figure, and I'll see you later, YouTube.